Hello everybody, how are we doing? This is another of those games from Nationwars, which is where two countries fight against each other to see who's the best country out there. In this event, it is going to be currently Team Peace, which is taking the place of Russia, and it's going to be Finland. Now, this is a 2v2 part, so the two players on each of the country's teams go up against each other in 2v2, which is a lot of fun. This series was great. This specific game was fantastic. So it's 3-2 right now in favor of Rattata and SKillous. Mixu and Serral must win this 2v2 game to stay in the tournament and to get an ace match where Serral is obviously going to be the favorite. So let's see if they can get it. Just before this kicks off, I do want to say I'm sorry for a little bit of the commentating in this game. It was a long day. My voice was really giving me a lot of issues. So there's times where I'm maybe not as excited as I should be. The game was just so good. I honestly, I'm a little bit sad about the casting because the game's really good. So I hope you guys just enjoy the game. And sorry if the casting's not 100% up to par. Blame my throat dying a little bit. But enjoy some 2v2 action. I know you guys kind of like it. Bye. Support the stream. Keep up the good work. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you so much for the kind words. And I will absolutely keep up the good work. And the bad work. No, I'm joking. It's only good work, right? Appreciate it, mate. Thank you so very much. Yeah, kind of interested to see kind of what happens then 2v2 wise. I mean, I'm still kind of humming and hawing on that previous game. Definitely felt so doable, so possible for SKillous, but obviously just slipped away from him, so I guess I shouldn't be humming and hawing over it. We'll see if they can get it done in the 2v2, but I feel like if they miss out on the 2v2, they're going to be pretty upset, considering, like I say, the position that SKillous was in. Obviously, if you lose the 2v2 here as right hand SKillous, this does go to Game 7. Game 7 is an ace match, which means both teams select one player to play one best of one. So basically, it's Serral versus... I would imagine it's Serral versus SKillous. I don't think they would send Rattata out on the ace game. So it would just... I'm pretty sure it would just be Serral versus SKillous if we get to an ace match. I think it makes the most sense. I think it's Team Peace's best option. I think Finland would be wild and bonkers if they were to try and send out Mixu. As he did kill this early pylon, he has these feelings of Serral working out as he plays aggressive here early. Link Speed going to kick in for him. Going to try and grab himself a queen and gets a pretty decent position to engage. The Adept probably helps another against this, but we will get the queen kill still. And these Lings are going to continue fighting. I thought they might have turned away just already by then, but they fought a little bit longer. Nothing too major though. A few Lings continue to chase around at the moment, so again, seeing where they can get to. And just going to be seeing, in the end, Serral gets pushed away. Serral's only on 14 drones, by the way, so kind of intrigued as to what exactly Serral's going to do. I mean, he's building more Lings. No Bane Nest. Ling's now being built by Mixu, and he's going to have a Bane Nest. Like, Serral's drone count is low. That's Mixu's hatchery that's on the way up over here that's in a little bit of trouble for just a few moments, so takes a little bit of damage. Portrait pops out, going to start moving across the map, and well, more Lings and Banes kind of chasing after each other for the moment as we see the couple queens moving forward there. Going to get some damage on those Banelings. Banelings getting pushed away. Banelings kind of wanted to come in and fight, as we do see the Baneling is going to get shot down, so the Baneling will die. Again, Ling's just continuing to chase other Lings at this point, just across the map. I mean, again, you look at the numbers, and Serral kind of needs a drone, and he is starting a drone now, so he's starting to get back in it in terms of numbers, but I feel like the concern is that, you know, SKillous is just doing as he wishes during all of this, so SKillous is just kind of getting himself set up, taking a third base and everything. SKillous really just feeling good. I don't know where Rattata's going to take a third base, but I guess that's something we'll find out in a few moments, see what his plan is. Obviously a bit of a weirder map for taking a third. It's not ideal, to say the least, but manageable. I don't think it's impossible for taking a third. Obviously, the one where SKillous takes is nice and easy, but yeah, I mean, where else do you go? I guess you go over here or up here. It just feels like there's not like an equal third base, right? So it's kind of funny to see SKillous taking that one, although, like I say, maybe that one's the more defendable one, so they give it to the Protoss. I guess then it's just kind of funny that we've not really seen Rattata take a third at all yet, so He's starting up extractors. Does not have a lair yet. Just starts missile upgrades and a roach upgrade. So, guess that's going for the moment. And yeah, going from there for now. As see, yes, Spore continue to hit these oracles. So oracles not doing too great initially, taking some damage and pushed around. Oracle's actually getting a couple more drones towards the end here, so doing decently with that so far. And see if there's anything else to be done for the moment. The answer just yet is no, not really. It's got the couple of queens pushing the oracles away up the top side. And we wait to see how this 2v2 goes now. I mean, Serral's supply is just not great. I mean, he's trying to rush into lurkers, so I guess we'll see how that plays. If they're just going to try and play a very slow game with lurkers and then roach support. And Serral's basically skipping units so that Mixu can protect him, and I guess then they kind of just go from there, but I'm interested to say the least, I suppose. Interested to say the least. It's always fun to see what, you know, great minds in StarCraft 2 come up with in, like, different game modes like 2v2, right? We've seen our Queen's Roaches continue to gather up at the moment. Just going to be having this defense from Mixu and Serral. Looking pretty good at the moment. Not really looking like they're going to be in all that much trouble or anything. So, looking okay over there for now. Let's see these Roaches and Archons. Gonna try and come in. Rattata and SKillous definitely want to be aggressive. Lurkers are done though from Serral, and that's what he's been kind of building to try and deal with this. So let's see if the Lurkers will work out. I feel like they don't have enough damage output right now. Mass Transfusion, that hatchery saves it last moment. Now a lot of the damage from SKillous and Rattata is kind of being wasted, and Mixu is absolutely a big part of pushing this away. Serral's Lurkers help with some splash, but honestly, I can't help but a little bit feel as though they've kind of made this way more difficult for themselves than it needed to be, no? A little bit surprised. You're going to see these Stalkers coming back around to the bottom side. Just going to be seeing SKillous just getting rebuilt now. Mixu's supply is great, although it is pretty much purely roaches. Obviously, Serral is the kind of the teched up player here, playing into now Hydra speed to help benefit his move into lurkers more and more as time passes by. Kind of a wild one, honestly, as we're just going to be seeing our Roaches, Ravagers, and Queens. Again, just going to stay on the defensive. Serral and Mixu can defend as best they can, and I mean, it's kind of working, but let's see, because Disruptor's on the way from SKillous, and the problem with Serral and Mixu is that they can't really go offensive, so now Team Peace can do as they wish for a little while. Rattata comes in. Rattata also only really on Roaches, by the way, so I guess when we compare the Zergs, if you kind of compare Mixu to Rattata, Mixu's in a great spot because he's ahead on workers and all sorts. You know, workers, army, tech. You know, he's ahead in every way. And that's the closest comparison we have. I mean, comparing Rattata to Serral doesn't really count because they're not really in that kind of a spot to compare there, you know? Let's see, disruptor shots coming down this ramp. We're going to see the roaches from Mixu coming back up to fire. I mean, the disruptors land nicely against Serral, lagging on supply, but that's because he's playing on a much higher tech army. He's playing pretty much the Lurker-Ling Hydra now. So it's something you've got to keep in mind. It definitely changes, like, it has a massive impact on the supply and stuff. So it's not just the be-all and end-all, as we do see the roaches and the rabbits coming through. Big disruptor shot there. Going to land quite nicely. A couple of shots going off, and attempts to try and be aggressive still here from Rattata and SKillous, still staying up in the front and trying to keep this push going. I mean, you've got disruptors, they can slowly chip away at lurkers and so on. That one is dodged at least, so they get out of trouble there. We've seen a couple of Frozen Files coming down, the Lings and Hydras trying to come through. Boom, boom on the Queens. Disruptors do connect, and we are going to be seeing SKillous still coming up to being about maxed out. Rattata's going to intercept Mixu's force over here, and I think he's got enough to deal with this, so that's good to see, because beforehand they were absolutely having some trouble. Just see the disruptors continue to do pretty good things, hitting a lot of these lurkers, so Serral can't really burrow those easily. Mixu and Serral trying to figure out how to do this. There is a counterattack still of Serral across the map. Some Lings trying to find a way in, but not able to just yet. You can see the hatchery goes down here, so obviously trying to defend this forward position. Maybe not working out brilliantly, but let's see what happens. Let's see if Mixu and Serral can continue to hold their bases. The fact that SKillous and Rattata have so much map control is obviously really powerful. So far looking pretty good. Disruptor shots coming in. Have to be so careful about those. I mean, again, SKillous and Rattata being able to just control the map with this push is so powerful. And imagine you're going to start peeling away bottom left, maybe try and get rid of those bases. It's going to be seeing the Stalkers continuing up, and just going to be having our double Zerg combo. Serral and Mixu trying to find a defense here. A little Doug coming in, so Rattata playing the Vipers as well now has continued to increase his tech. Serral is still getting lurker crits, by the way, which is kind of incredible so far. Shots going all over the place. The Stalker's getting forward here as well. I mean, disruptors can do so much damage, but those disruptors went a little bit far. They needed to go a little bit closer, actually. Being a little bit different there, so, I mean, again, these disruptors are basically going to decide the game. It does feel like right now Mixu and Serral are surely just struggling a little bit, no? Looks like they're definitely getting into a little bit of a tough spot. I mean, these disruptors just keep on landing. Their supplies are dropped. Mixu once had a much more convincing supply lead, but not the case anymore. As these Stalkers at least getting pushed back by the Lurkers. There is Roaches bottom left to 9. Counterattacker Roaches from Mixu just not really getting anywhere, not really finding anywhere to go to, so unfortunately not going to be having too much luck with that just yet either. As disruptor shots continue through. This army of SKillous still trying to push along that left-hand side. Rattata lost a lot of supply in this last fight, and losing out a lot of supply definitely hurting. But I mean, Mixu's low supply, Serral is fairly low supply still. I mean, it feels like Skillous is going to be MVP of this right now. These disruptors going to get targeted down. Mixu trying to get them. Skillous now trying to protect his disruptors. This is, man, it's just absolute chaos here. These Vipers decide what they want to do. They abducted in a lurk. I feel like a blinding cloud might have potentially helped out there. In all honesty, so a little bit surprised didn't go any better. This is kind of wild. I mean, just basically non-stop action up this ramp, but again, it definitely feels like eventually here, SKillous and Rattata are just going to have too much, and especially SKillous, I feel like, is the player that's just not budging in supply at all. Continue to trade very well, continue to do great, just getting into a better and better position. A couple more disruptor shots coming out. I don't know, man, just tough to imagine this going any other way right now. Just going to be seeing those couple of Vipers again, some energy back, and if Rattata and SKillous can get combined and just go for one big fight, I guess we'll see what... I guess we'll see if maybe Serral can come up with something, because it does feel like it almost has to be Serral to come up with an answer right now. Mixu is severely down on supply, and he's only ever really had roaches. So if he's only got roaches, it's kind of down to Serral's lurkers, no? It just feels so tough. It feels like they need to take down some economy. It feels like they need to do something to slow down this entire force of specifically SKillous and his bases and his economy, but it's just not really much of an option there. Stargates and a flip kicking on the way, by the way, from SKillous, so he's even looking towards the future where he's going to be able to get even more done. I mean, it's just going to be so tough. There's no setup right now where Serral and Mixu can really deal with like a mass of carriers, and I don't see how they can really do it as well. I don't really see how they can stop him getting that either, right? That's the I think that's the biggest issue. Like, how do you stop them getting set up into that? It's going to be real tough for sure. Well, Infest is out. We see those Vipers again increasing in numbers from Serral, so maybe they can do something in this. We actually see Rattata's Hydra's getting fungled a little bit. SKillous' army not here at the moment, but he does have Zealots, Stalkers, and Archons on the top. I feel like Mixu and Serral are just there realizing there's probably something set up, right? So that's a good little moment or so just to notice that. We do see Roaches and Hydra's going to go in, knocking down that hatchery. I mean, obviously that bottom left of the map never being allowed to be established by Mixu and Serral, and that's a big issue. But getting rid of one of the forward bases of Rattata, I mean, Rattata's down at only 2 bases himself. And they essentially eliminate Rattata from this game. Because, like, Rattata only has 2 bases now. If they can clean up Rattata's army one more time, it's definitely possible, you know? It's definitely possible. Just going to be seeing the Infestors going to drop a couple of fungal growths. We've seen the Vipers taking some damage as well. Rattata's supply dropping. Like I say, he will not have a lot of rebuild potential. This could actually turn into Skillous v2. And if it's Skillous versus 2, then actually I think Skillous might struggle a little bit. So, okay. I'm kind of down. I actually kind of believe it now more so than I've believed before. I'm genuinely kind of curious here. I'm way more committed to the comeback now than I was way before, so let's see if maybe there is indeed a chance. Very exciting, guys. You see the Stalkers blinking up. A few of these Roaches being denied right now as well, so not going to let much happen over there as we do have our army of Rattata. Again, it really is his last stand unless he can get a base back up, which is not impossible either, right? So it is possible to get back in this. Yeah, Disruptors continue to move around up on this high ground. SKillous. Again, SKillous has been very passive the last little while. Definitely part of the reason why I feel like Serral Mixu have been able to get back in it. SKillous' army has been kind of kept out of it. And that's just been Rattata has been the focus of the bullion of Serral Mixu, as they really do fight their way back into this right now. And boy, what a position they get into. I mean, these carriers, still the biggest issue perhaps. I mean, I talked about it a while ago, and maybe that's where SKillous has just been, right? Just getting the carrier set up and stuff. And like I say, there was a point where I was like, well, I kind of felt like you couldn't stop him getting there, and they couldn't, but they really took advantage of him going there, I suppose, right? And I guess that's maybe the most impressive part. As Vipers continue to set up, we're not just going to be seeing technology stabilizers, so we're even going to go into a real commitment to Tempest here right now. Really setting up for that and getting those into play. Extra air weapon upgrades coming in as well, so all of that continue to establish right now. Rattata does have that central base up and running, by the way. I've kind of missed out on that, but that's going to give him some money to keep on rebuilding, get back into this a little bit. Centralized base is actually definitely a way back for Rattata, at least to keep on rebuilding a little bit. Disruptor's obviously going to be terrifying if they hit like a good chunk of units. It could be truly devastating, so you've got to be really careful right now. Any moment could go very wrong very quickly, no? It's going to be seeing the army of Rattata gets completely surrounded. A few units of skills as well. The rest of skills' force is so out of the way. Oh, Rattata's out of this. He's just gone. Okay, well, SKillous is basically 1v2 now, and he basically, I think, has to go then sooner rather than later. The sooner he goes, the better. I mean, just Rattata getting caught out of position, and I understand he's playing a much faster army, but I mean, SKillous' army's just not been with him a few times now, and I get it, like, SKillous' army is slow going and stuff, but you gotta be a bit more careful about that, surely. As that is a game crash. Hello, it's my PC's running. At least that was... something's lagging. I mean... yes. Something's lagging. We have no idea who, what, or why, guys. So, I mean, I can't do anything. I was pretty sure it wasn't me, because everything looked okay on my side, so... kind of a weird one, as we are just going to see there's a big engagement coming through. Can't believe the players didn't say anything at all. So focused on the game. This is it, guys. If SKillous doesn't win this for Team Peace right now, then I think Finland are really in this, right? Because they are just going to be able to basically 2v1 on the rebuilds. The Vipers of Rattata need to get some work done. Like, the Vipers of Rattata need to get in there and maybe Parasitic Bomb. They just get abducted there. He's not able to utilize them properly. He's going to Parasitic Bomb now. I feel like he really could have done just with doing that way soon. And now we're going to get Neuroparasite. SKillous' army is getting chased away. This is completely ridiculous as Team Finland start to take down this army of Team Peace. Serral's forces are disappearing though. There goes a couple of carriers. SKillous is still rich. SKillous could give Rattata some money to rebuild with a bit as well, but maybe SKillous' army is the best anyways. Mixu has got a lot of infestors, and that's what he's really relying on to try and be successful in this as well. Just absolute chaos of a game as we're going to Nidus across the map and put some pressure on, apparently, try and get in and disrupt things a little bit as well. My freaking goodness. Of course we are. This game of 2v2 might be one of the craziest we've ever actually seen. It's actually kind of wild at the moment. Look, it's popping. Nidus, sorry, popping out, and a lot of these lings are going to start popping as well. So a lot of those coming through. SKillous is maxed again. Definitely feel like SKillous being maxed is one of the key features here. SKillous, if the Team Peace are going to take, I mean, it's completely on him. He's going to be maxed with this Viper support of his teammate Rattata. He only has 3 Vipers and a handful of Hydras, but hey, it's better than nothing at all. Absolutely better than nothing, so you take what you're given at the moment, right? Take what you are given. Archon's continuing through here. A few corrosive vials from Mixu to push this back. We're going to start trying to deny these bases. What's huge, obviously, from Team Finland is that they finally got the bottom left up. All the pressure of SKillous and Rattata faded away, so now you can get that bottom left up. Look at resources lost, by the way. Massive from SKillous, losing so much. He mined a lot more, but obviously that means eventually he can't just let this side of the map mine out for Team Finland. He must deny bases. If they don't deny bases, they're going to be in trouble. They're going to get outmassed in the end, so yeah, kind of need to be on top of that ASAP. There's going to be a massive fight, absolute chaos all over the place. Several supplies disappearing quickly. Mixu doesn't have a lot of good stuff, so Mixu's supply I'm not as worried about. I feel like SKillous can beat that in the end. A couple of Vipers still from Rattata working around here. We're abducting in the Infestors, which drop a couple of Fungals. Some of the Infestors going down, some of them are not. Mixu has the most supply of everybody. Rattata and SKillous about 200 supply combined versus 270, but they still have carriers if they can just get the Interceptor count back up. Can the carriers actually be killed? I don't know if they can be, but right now, I mean, they're just sat here trying to do whatever they can. Corrosive Files, carriers continue to just sit here clearing on up. But carriers might be the answer. There's a counterattack top right. SKillous losing economy, so rebuilding is difficult. We're going to morph into massive Archons, it seems, in the next few moments. Holy crap. This is beyond bonkers, I think, as the carriers are going to go through down to the bottom side. You're going to see Lings and Lurker or two out on the other side of the map as well. Absolute utter chaos at the moment. Is just going to be seeing the bottom side bases starting to be denied. That's what we said. We need to deny these bases, otherwise we're going to be in trouble, right? So start to deny these. That's very, very useful. Very, very necessary. Absolutely necessary. I mean, if this wasn't happening, then we were in so much trouble. Serral and Mixu just trying to regain a little bit of control in this then, guys, and see what they can do. And we've seen the carriers still fighting, Extractors taking some damage, and yeah, it's looking very good at the moment for Team Peace again. I think they're just going to be able to do it. I feel like there's just not a good enough answer to the carriers. They can trade efficiently enough to actually make this work, which is bonkers, might I just add. Like, absolutely, completely bonkers. I honestly don't know if I can really believe it. I mean, they had... I mean, the fact that SKillous haven't just been able to close this game out super easily alone. Oh my god, the Neural carrier actually targeted down one of the friendly Vipers. But, oh, that was good. I mean, that was what you got to do with the Neurals right now. Everyone's just about at 100 supplies. Serral's actually going to have the supply lead at the moment. Neural carrier forward again. Do we have any splash damage? These High Templars, I think, are trying to wait to get Storms, but do we need that versus just getting Archons and just going? Disruptor shots landing on Hydras. It looks as though the carriers are going to continue through, looking as though they are going to be enough. Oh my goodness. Absolutely ridiculous here. That's going to be seeing this army continuing forward. A couple of Neurals, going in on Hydras of all things. As I think SKillous' carriers really have won this game. It feels like going to the carriers almost looked as though it was the reason that... I feel like going to those carriers is almost the reason they got into trouble in the first place, but they're also going to be what win the game, right? So, yeah. Jeez. GG's. That is going to be Rattata and SKillous. Getting it done for Team Peace. 30-minute 2v2. Team Peace are the victors, 4-2 over Finland. And